Hello, everyone. Hello. Happy Tuesday, whatever day it is. My name is Jared Orton. Thank you guys for being a part of this very first Fans First Experience webinar. We are going to cover some really fun things today. I'm trying to have some fun today, dress it up on a Tuesday, getting ready for Christmas break. We're taking some time off here at the office next week and the week after, but I am looking forward today to sharing things with you. We want this to be a super fun, super informational, least professional webinar you could ever be a part of. As you can tell by this outfit, we're here in the dungeon, in the stadium here in Savannah, Georgia. I know people are joining from all over the country. The response has been amazing, so thank you for taking some time out of your day and being a part of this with us. And we're going to spend the next 30-45 minutes really diving in on how we can turn your customers into your biggest fans, and then those fans into your biggest marketer. So here's some quick housekeeping notes that we want to do. Again, this is a one-way webinar for the most part, so your microphones should be muted, they should be locked. So if you want to yell at me, if you want to criticize me, if you want to really do anything, just yell at me all you want, and I won't be able to hear a word you're saying. So if you're just totally dissatisfied with this presentation, do that. And I won't be able to hear you. Your video camera should be locked and off. There's no need to have video. I can't see you, so no big deal on that. If you can't hear me, obviously you won't be hearing this right now, but click on the phone icon, this phone icon right here that you can see at the top of your webinar stream there, and you should be able to click that and then click microphone and speakers, and then you should be able to hear me and hear all the presentation and all that. There's only audio from me speaking, and then we're going to have a little bit of audio, but there shouldn't be anything other than that throughout the presentation. And then again, we're going to have Q&A at the end. But feel free throughout the conversation here, use the chat feature. It's this bubble looking. It's a square on this one, but it's a bubble looking thing again at the top of your webinar presentation, and you should be able to open up the chat screen, the chat window, and you guys can have conversations there, and then we'll answer those at the end. This is live. We'll record this and put it out later, but for those who are joining now, this is live and this is awesome. So without further ado, we're going to get into it and rock this presentation. Let's go.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for. Searching in the dark, sweat soaking through the floor. And buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see, getting closer. Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's blood loving. It's the flicker and the puppet and you find it open. There's something breaking, it's a breaker, very wonderful, all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go? Where we covered in all the blood and glory. Where the runaway is the running the night. Customers coming through, taking over you. And ready to go. We lift it up, we won't come down. And the sun can't stop us now. What did it come through? Taking over you. Ready to go.
Rock and roll. It is show time. That is our intro. That's one of our favorite songs. It gets the energy for us every single day. But again, welcome to the Fans First Experience webinar. We are going to go through creating your perfect fan testimony. We call it the PFT, the Perfect Fan Testimonial. And again, our goal is that at the end of the journey, at the end of our customer journey, as we get people through, from turning customers into fans and fans become our biggest marketers, our end goal is that our fans are the ones who are doing the marketing for us. We're not out there advertising. We're not out there selling. Obviously, we have to do those things, right? We have to get customers. We have to sell things. We have to bring people in. But ultimately, it's not us out there patting our back, being the one saying, look at us, come do business with us, buy our product, come do our thing. It's our customers who become our biggest fans, and then those fans become our biggest marketers. So that's our end goal. That's where we want to get to at some point. And obviously we're not going to get to that today, right? It takes time, and we're going to kind of share some of that, some of the challenges that we've gone through. This has not been an overnight success, and we'll share that in a little bit. This is something that's been, we've been working on day after day, year after year, and it's taken time for us to get to a point where we believe our fans are actually doing some and really almost all of our marketing. We don't do really any traditional advertising anymore, and we'll get into that in a second on where we came from. But our biggest goal is that our customers and our fans are the ones out there doing the biggest marketing for us. And what we're going to solve today is, what is that they're actually saying? That's what the Perfect Fan Testimonial is. It's us coming up with a concept, a statement, a vision for, like, if our customer turns into a fan, and then they go out, they have an experience with us, and then they're sitting around the Christmas table, or they're going home, or they're going back to work, what would they say about the experience that they just had with us, right? Like, what would they say? Because hopefully they at least say something, right? Because the worst thing they could say is nothing. The worst thing they could say is, well, how was your experience? And it was okay, right? It was fine. Or hopefully it's terrible, right? Hopefully it's so bad that they'll at least say it was terrible. So we've got to figure out, how are they going to say something? What are we going to do? What experience are we going to provide for them that gives them something that's worth talking about? What's something we're going to be doing that's worth talking about? And what's that perfect fan testimonial? So here's what we're going to be going through today. I want to give y'all the backstory. The Bananas backstory, the snippet. You got to understand where we came from. You got to understand the context of where we came from, where we're at, where some of these ideas, really came into play for us, and the struggles we had, and how we had to change our mindset from advertising and sales and pushing things on people they didn't care about, to creating a remarkable experience for people where they were the ones out there doing the marketing for us. I want to share with y'all the state of service. What we're talking about here is kind of an experience economy, and this was something that was really put into play like 20 plus years ago. There were some guys on the Harvard Business Review that wrote about this experience economy where people don't like to be sold, but they love to buy, and they're starving for great experiences. So I want to share with y'all some research and some things that we've gone through, and some stats that we've collected over time, and from really strong people who are again continuing to research this mindset of experience over marketing. And then I want to share with y'all what we call the 4 steps. The 4 steps to turn your customers into fans, and then those fans into your biggest marketer. So I'll share those 4 steps, and then really we're going to get into, why is the PFT important? Why is the Perfect Fan Testimonial important? And then how do we use that as our guiding light as we aspire to get our fans to do the marketing? That's our guiding light. And then how do we work backwards from there, crafting this experience all the way through, all the way down from lasting impressions to when customers buy from you, when they don't buy from you, when they're just interested in you, down to the first impressions. How are we using that Perfect Fan Testimonial as the guiding light and working ourselves all the way back through to the end? So again, at any time, use the chat window, use that for questions. We're going to get to the end. Hopefully this lasts about 30 or 45 minutes, and then we'll get into Q&A and chat at the end here. So again, here's our story. The Bananas, again, we're not Major League Baseball, right? We're not the Atlanta Braves, we're not AAA, we're not AA, we're not single A, we're not independent league. Like, we are the lowest of the low, guys. We are summer collegiate baseball. I say that with all sincerity, because I want you to know we are not some miraculous baseball team that's professional and someone that's got this beautiful stadium and we've got all these season tickets. Like, we are summer collegiate baseball. We're the lowest of the low. And when we got to Savannah, we had this mindset that baseball had existed in Savannah at Grayson Stadium. Beautiful. We're sitting in Grayson Stadium right now. Beautiful, historic Grayson Stadium. Baseball had existed here for 90 straight years. Professional baseball had existed here for 90 years. And in 2015, they said it was dead. They literally said baseball is dead in Savannah. The fans won't go to the game anymore. The stadium sucks. The city's terrible. Nobody supports it. Nobody wants baseball anymore. We are leaving. And in 2015, they left. And so we had the opportunity to say, what would it be like if we got to come to Grayson State? What could we do? Could we provide a different experience? But I'll tell you, we started doing the exact same things that everyone else had done for 90 straight years, and we didn't even realize it. We came into this market saying that we were going to provide entertainment and all these crazy activities and all these games and dancing players and crazy mascots and roses and all these wild and ridiculous things. And then for 4 straight months, we did the exact same thing that everyone else did. We were selling. We put things in the newspaper and put things on TV and put things in the radio and put things on social media and collect people's email addresses, right? Like sell, 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 sell. And I know a lot of y'all feel the same way sometimes where it's like, you got to sell, you got to sell, you got to sell. And I get that. We have to have customers, right? We have to sell things to our customers. But people don't like to be sold. People don't like to be sold. They want to buy from people that know that they care about them, and we had to give them a reason to care. And for 4 months, we didn't give them a reason to care because we were selling something that everyone else had sold, and we were just calling it different. So how naive of us to believe that we were going to get different results, right? We were doing normal things, and we were expecting different results. But what happens? When you do normal things, you get normal results. Normal decisions get normal results. If we want dramatic results, if we want our fans to become our biggest marketers, if we want people shouting about our business and our experience from the rooftops, we've got to do things dramatically different. And so fast forward, we had sold, like this is the dead honest truth, we had sold 4 season tickets and 1 sponsorship package in 4 months. That's how great we were at being salespeople, right? Again, people didn't care. For 4 months, we had sold 4 season tickets and 1 sponsorship package, and we were questioning ourselves, well, why aren't we getting different results? Because we were doing the normal thing. So if I can share with you that, it's, normal decisions get normal results. We need to do something dramatic. So we got to the point where we had people suggesting what they wanted the team to be named. And, this is a true story. We had one lady suggest Savannah Banana. We had crazy names. We had Savannah Ports, we had Savannah Steam Engines, we had Savannah 22s, Savannah To-Go Cups, Savannah Party Animals, Savannah Angry Shrimp, Savannah Fighting Pralines. Like, we had crazy names, and one lady suggested Savannah Bananas. And, it got to a point where we were like, well, it's so stupid that it might actually work, right? If you want dramatic results, we've got to make a dramatic decision. We can't be a normal baseball team. We can't have a normal name. We can't have a normal mascot because we'll get the same results that everyone else got. We'll come, we'll play, and we'll fail. We'll come, we'll play, and we'll fail. We can't compete on baseball. We've got to compete on experience. And so what happened was just absolutely insane at that moment. We named the team Savannah Bananas, and people freaked out. I'm telling you, they absolutely lost their minds. People are saying, we hate you guys, we love you guys. The owner's a genius, the owner's an idiot. We'll buy all the tickets, we'll never buy a ticket. We'll come to all the games, we'll never come to any game. Boycott the team. I mean, chaos. But people cared. People began to talk. People began to share our message. And that's the theme of this conversation. Are there things that you are doing that when people leave, they at least say something? And so at that time, people were saying, have you heard about the team name? Have you heard about how crazy? They said that they're going to be crazy. But this team name kind of starts to prove it. And so as you start thinking of these things, what are you doing that those are those talk points to get people sharing your story, sharing your experience, sharing your message? And so what happened after that was just absolutely surreal. Going from 4 season tickets and 1 sponsorship package to opening night being sold out and the next night being sold out, and then from there on out, every single game, 17 of those first 25 games were sold out, and then for 3 straight years now, in 17, 18, 19, now going into 2020, every single game has been completely sold out, and we believe it's due to creating a remarkable experience, not selling people, creating a remarkable experience so that when they leave, these people will talk about to their friends, their family, their co-workers, social media. They'll share what that experience actually was. Our end goal is for our customers to become fans and for those fans to become our biggest marketers. Remember, customers are transactional. Customers are transactional. They buy something and they're gone. They buy something and they're gone. Advertising gets customers. Without a doubt. We're not here bashing advertising. Advertising can get customers. But advertising doesn't build fans. Experience builds fans. Experience builds fans. And fans are what you need, as Seth Godin says, to build a tribe. You need a tribe of people that, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 people where they say, you know what? Whatever this business does, I'm a fan. Whatever they do, I'm a fan. And I'm going to shout from the rooftops what it means to be a fan and what it means for me to experience this business. So again, our end goal is for our customers to become fans and for those fans to become our biggest marketers. And so I want to share with y'all again this experience economy type of idea and why we're trying to preach this fans first experience, because we believe it's absolutely important that the fans first experience is something that businesses can take hold on. Because what we're realizing is that, especially in retail, you see it in the news all the time. Retail stores are dying, stores are closing because everyone is competing on price and product. Everyone's competing on price and product. A little bit cheaper price, a little bit better product. A little bit cheaper price, a little bit better product. And what it becomes is kind of this race to the bottom of cheapest price, cheapest price, cheapest price, a little bit better product. We believe that experiences for the customer to turn them into fans is the real differentiator that you can start using in your business today, sharing with your team the importance of the experience, because that is what ultimately we think can turn your customers into fans. All right, so here is the state of service. Here's a state of kind of where we're seeing experience, this economy of experiences, and so on and so forth. Again, if you have questions, use the chat window to the right. It's on the top of your video screen. Hit the chat button, and you guys can start asking questions there in the right the right chat window. We went to a conference, social media marketing world, and a guy by the name of Mark Schaefer was presenting absolutely amazing presentation at Social Media Marketing World last year. And Mark wrote a book called Marketing Rebellion. Literally people rebelling against marketing. And as you can probably imagine, when you look at your marketing budget, and we looked at ours, we were like, man, we're marketing, and good grief, people are absolutely, they're rebelling against it. They're like, all right, I see that ad, and I'm going away from it. Because you think about it, nobody woke up, none of y'all woke up this morning, especially I didn't wake up this morning and say, man, I want to be advertised to today. I wish I could see, one of those personal injury ads, or, I wish I could, hear another car dealership commercial, or I wish, they would just send me one of those pieces of mail, for the bank. I just wish I could be advertised to. Nobody wakes up in the morning to be advertised to, right? So Mark puts in his book and in his speeches, when he did his research, that only 13% of consumers label themselves as being loyal to a brand. 13% of consumers label themselves as being loyal to a brand. And that's insane, right? Because we think of customer loyalty and customer service and loyalty cards and, the airline credit cards. Like everyone's we need to build loyalty, build loyalty, build loyalty. And the reality is people aren't loyal to anything. It is so rare to think of someone being so directly loyal to a company these days, especially as a consumer, because there's so much competition because of price and product, price and product, price and product. However, as we'll share in a little bit, there's examples out there of businesses who demand immense loyalty, and your business can do the same thing. Your business can demand immense loyalty because they win on experience. They win on experience. So 13% of consumers label themselves as being loyal to a brand. A guy by the name of Esteban Kolsky is kind of a thought leader on customer mapping, customer journey, customer experience. He really has some sharp stuff. And he noted that only 34% of businesses are actively mapping the customer's journey. And we're going to talk about customer mapping. That's not going to be a big focus of this. I want to share these things because I'll show you why some of this is important as we start developing the PFT. But only 34% of businesses are actively mapping their customer journey, from start to not finish, but beyond finish. So from when they first interact with you, whether it be your website, or they call, or they see you on social media, to when they think about buying, to when they buy, to when they come in, to when it's delivered, to when they leave, and even beyond when they leave, only 34% of businesses are actively mapping that out. So think about if your business starts mapping out the customer journey, the customer experience map as we call it, think about the difference you can make from the rest of your competitors, from the rest of the people in your industry, if you begin mapping the experience of your journey. What that's going to start with is this PFT. You've got to have your PFT, your Perfect Fan Testimonial, as your guiding light to start mapping the journey. And then American Express and PricewaterhouseCoopers noted that Americans will spend 13 to 18% more for a better service experience. And I believe that American Express and PricewaterhouseCoopers definitely know how much we spend without a doubt. And they did this across service industries. It was hotels and airlines and HVAC and like across industries, 13 to 18% more for better service experiences. And then the Temkin Group, again, this kind of research, brand research, customer research, said that 65% of consumers will say that a positive experience with the brand is more effective than advertising. And so, you start thinking about all these metrics. And one of my amazing business, I guess, loyalty efforts is to Chick-fil-A. Like my wife and I, we freaking map out when we're going to Chick-fil-A. Like if we're leaving for going back to see our family, like we're hitting this Chick-fil-A for lunch, we're hitting that Chick-fil-A for, we just map this thing out. We are ready to hit all of our Chick-fil-A's. And you think about Chick-fil-A as a brand, and you think about why people label themselves as consumers and loyal consumers to Chick-fil-A, kind of that top thing, that 13% of people only label themselves as loyal, it's because they are actively mapping the customer journey. From the time you pull into the parking lot, the cleanliness, to when you open the door and someone immediately greets you as you walk in, to when you step up to the counter and everyone's looking you dead in the eye, and even probably into your soul, it seems like, and they ask you what your name is, and they ask you, how's it going today, and then they take your order, and they don't just take your order, right? They tell you, sit down, go ahead and have a seat, we're going to bring this meal out to you. They've mapped that out, so they bring that meal out to you, and you sit down, and you're having your meal, and they call you by name again, and then someone else comes by and says, hey, I noticed that your drink needs a refill. It's not their job to refill drinks, right? They're not a wait staff service, but someone notices that your drink needs to be refilled. They come around and they pick up that cup and go get your refill and take it back, and then someone else comes by and collects that tray and puts mints on the table and says, have a great day at Chick-fil-A. They've mapped the entire experience. Now, they're not competing on price. They don't do dollar menu. They don't do buy one get one. They don't do half off. They don't compete on price, right? And they certainly don't compete on product either. Yes, they have a good chicken sandwich. They don't have, an unbelievable, only one in the world chicken sandwich. There's chicken sandwiches elsewhere. But we're willing to spend 18% more, and they certainly don't advertise like everyone else advertises, right? They're not advertising like Burger King and McDonald's and Taco Bell and everyone else. Those companies outspend them day after day after day, tomorrow, the next day, 10 days from now. They're not advertising their product. But we are immensely loyal to Chick-fil-A because they've mapped that experience. And you hear about their guiding light. Obviously they don't call it the PFT. The PFT is kind of what we call the Perfect Fan Testimonial. And their mission is not to serve great chicken sandwiches, right? Their mission, they want to bring people together. They want to make people feel like family. They want to make people feel like they belong. They're not serving Chick-fil-A sandwiches. They're serving a remarkable experience and just using Chick-fil-A sandwiches to get there. They've mapped that entire experience, and they use this guiding light of serving people, helping people, building a community of people, and they use a Chick-fil-A sandwich to get them there. That's kind of the idea of building this PFT, this guiding light, this amazing, remarkable experience. So here's the 4 steps real quick. and we'll get into the PFT, but our fans become our marketers. When we identify the frustrations and the pain points and the friction points that our customers go through, and then we forget normal and do the exact opposite. So we forget what's normal in our industry, and we begin doing the exact opposite. That's what we had to focus on. Remember, normal gets normal results, different gets dramatic results. So forget normal, do the exact opposite. You create these you wouldn't believe moments. That's what Chick-fil-A does when they create these you wouldn't believe moments. That's what, some of these major companies do. They, someone interacts with this company and they say, man, you wouldn't believe what it was like when I went and did business with them. You wouldn't believe what they did for my family. You wouldn't believe what it was like when I had that experience with them. And then ultimately, we win the transition moments of the journey. So those are the 4 steps we go through. We go through, hey, let's stop frustrating our customers. Let's ditch normal, do the exact opposite. How can we create you wouldn't believe moments for people? And then what are those transition moments along the journey? However, none of this is important. None of this is important if we don't have our guiding light, which is this perfect fan testimonial. We don't have any, none of this matters if we don't know the decision-making process, the journey we're trying to get to. And Simon Sinek said it the best. If you tell someone, go to that store over there, and you can only go in one line, you can only get there in one certain manner. When you get to the road, you'll stop. You'll stop because you don't know how to get any further. But if you say, hey, we're going there, doesn't matter how we get there, we're going in this direction for our customer. We want our customer to feel this way. And we just take different paths to get there. Ultimately, we're all on the same mission. We're all on the same mission to have our customers become fans and our fans to become our biggest marketers. So here's how the Perfect Fan Testimonial works. Again, we use this as a guiding light for the business and also specific departments. But it comes down to, how do you want to make people feel? How do you want to make people feel? For us, it's quite simple. We want people to feel entertained. Entertained and fun. Entertainment and fun. And so for us, the one sentence that we use to describe how we want people to feel is these examples right here. I've never had so much. We want someone to leave, come to our game, and say, I've never had so much fun at a baseball game before. I've never had so much, I went to the game, I didn't know what the score was, they had these dancing, crazy, acrobatic players, they had dancing first base coach, they had these garbage can nachos, they were wearing all yellow. I've never had so much fun at a baseball game before. Or the alternative would be, it was like a circus and a baseball game broke out. And so what I want us to start focusing on, and what you can start focusing on, is as you build your sentence, what's that one sentence that when people leave your business, when people leave doing business maybe with you as a person, when someone interacts with your business and they leave, what's that sentence that they're going to say? And what I want you to do is you got to write that down. You've got to write it out, and you've got to workshop it hard. You've got to say, all right, what's the one thing that we want our people to say about us? It's not something like, oh, we give them, I had great service there, or they were really nice to me, or they have a really nice product. No. This is about a powerful, experience-minded sentence that really encapsulates the emotion that you want someone to feel. And so, again, I bolded or all caps these words here, like fun and circus. What these words do is that they contain emotional or visual elements. So when I say fun, that's not very visual, but it's emotional. Fun for me might be completely different than fun for you. Fun for me is, hanging out with my family and experiencing new things around town. Fun for you might be hanging out, reading a book, being completely by yourself. So fun is different. But we can all kind of rally around, hey, we want people to have fun, and we want to give fun to people. Now, circus is more visual. There's visual elements that circus brings you. And then, it might be fire and characters and music and jugglers and magicians. And so when I say it was like a circus and a baseball game broke out, that immediately gives you this visual of, wait, how could a circus be at a baseball game? So your PFT needs to include either powerful emotional words or visual elements. And so I use some examples here. Some of the examples that can be used as kind of those powerful words in your PFT. Words like love, family, home, superstar, belong, success, empowered, tribe. These are words that your business, your team, your people can begin to rally behind. If you say something like, when our customer leaves our business, we want them to say, I feel, when I do business, when I bought that thing from them, I felt like I belong. When I walked in their office, I felt like, when I walked into that dentist, I felt like they cared for me. I felt like I was a part of their tribe. I think the most powerful one that I've had recently, and this is why I included it, was the word superstar. I've never heard it before. We've been doing workshops for businesses, and we've been hosting workshops. We hosted 2 workshops for businesses this past summer, the Fans First Experience workshop, and we've been going around sharing this mission, sharing this vision, sharing this Fans First experience with people. And I was recently with a YMCA in the Northeast up in Virginia, and we were going through this kind of PFT and how it was the guiding light for the business, and they were using words like, we want people to feel like they belong, and we want people to feel like they're family here. And then we came around to the table of the youth sports worker, the youth sports team, and it's all the full-time leadership group that really handles all these sports. And they said, when our kids, when our families, when our parents, go through youth sports with us, we want them to leave and say, my child feels like a superstar when they play at the YMCA and their youth sports program. And I was blown away. I thought, superstar, man, what a powerful, emotional, connected word. And so you start thinking about that, and we started having conversations. Okay, what does that look like? So if your word is family or home or love or empowered or success or fun or what does that look like? As you start crafting this sentence, as you start honing in on this specific word, as you start seeing which words are the most powerful, or really saying, all right, that's not powerful enough, you need to start having conversation with your team, with your staff, with your executives, with your leadership group, and say, all right, what does this word mean to us? What does a circus look like? What does a superstar look like? How does that person feel? And as we started having these conversations about, if their child if they want children to feel like a superstar, then you start working through the fan journey, and you start asking yourselves very simple questions. Are we making them feel like a superstar or not? For us at the Savannah Bananas, at the baseball games, we can simply say, if our PFT is, I've never had this much fun at a baseball game before, then we need to ask ourselves, are we giving fun or are we not? When you first go on our website, is our website fun or is it not? When you call our office, are we giving you fun or are we not? When you buy a ticket from us, is that fun? When you get the confirmation email after you buy a ticket, is that fun? Are our videos like a circus, but a baseball game broke out? What we need to ask ourselves, is it fun or is it not? Is it a circus or is it not? And so we started doing this with this YMCA group, and you could see the mind change on not just, hey, we're not just a youth sports organization anymore. You're not just in the business you think you are. You are in a fun-giving, life-giving, memory-making business that people come to you to get your product or get your service. You're in, yes, you sell those things, but you're in a different business. We're in the fun business. We're in the entertainment business. We just use baseball as a means to get us there. And so this YMCA said, all right, when they call our office to sign their kid up for youth sports, are we making them feel like a superstar in that moment? When they actually sign up and they get that confirmation email from us, are we making them feel like a superstar? From the time that they sign up to their first practice, There's a gap of a couple months there. Are we making them feel like a superstar? When they come to their first practice at the YMCA, do they feel like a superstar? When they play their first game, when they play their second game, when they play their last game? And this was the kicker. And this is something that we haven't figured out yet, and I hope y'all as business owners and business leaders are going to start figuring this out too along with us. When the season's over, when your business is done working with that customer, maybe you're a very transactional-based business and people come more often, or hey, maybe you only see a customer once a year, or once every 2 years, or once every 5 years. What does it look like beyond that? For this youth sports team is, if they play a basketball season of 8 or 10 weeks, are we making them feel like superstars beyond the season? That's a powerful moment when you realize from start to finish, you're taking this PFT as your guiding light, then working it all the way back through this experience, all the way back through from lasting impressions to the buying experience to coming in your office, all the way back down to the beginning. And you're realizing that, oh my goodness, we have so many touch points, so many transition moments along the way that we can use to empower people, empower our team to create these experiences by using this simple word, like empower or love or family or superstar or whatever that might be. And so that is how this PFT is used. So what I want people to do, again, is as you're thinking about this, as you're thinking through this, is what is that one sentence that we want people to leave and say about our business, about our experience, not about product, not about price, not about we have the best gadget, we have the best widget, we have the best burgers or wings or whatever, or we're the cheapest. Or, we have the best price, or we have the best shipping. Look, news flash, and you guys know this in your businesses. Someone's going to do it cheaper. Someone's going to do it faster. It's probably Amazon. And whatever business you're in, I'm just going to say it's probably Amazon. I don't know. Somehow Amazon is going to disrupt this Savannah Bananas. Who knows how it's going to happen, but they're going to do it. Someone's going to do it a little bit faster. Someone's going to do it a little bit cheaper. And someone's going to do it a little bit better. And so if you're in that rat race, technology is going to move faster and faster and faster. Prices are going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And then delivery is going to get faster and faster and faster as well. And so the PFT is disbarring all of that and focusing on experience, which is the one thing you can uniquely control. The experience that your customer has with you is the one thing you can uniquely control. So you identify those powerful moments, you identify those defining words, you identify those emotional and visual elements, and you begin using this PFT as a lens for the decision-making process throughout the customer journey. And I'm, let's see. Sorry, my computer's probably going to die here. So this becomes your definitive guiding light path to ensure you are on the right path for your journey. Give me just a second. We're going to get ready to go into Q&A. I've got to charge my computer here. Again, this is why it's live TV, folks. Let me plug in real quick. We're actually going to get into Q&A here in just a second. So let me plug in. And again, I am very sorry for this. So anyways, the PFT is how we use our guiding light. It's how we create this guiding light mindset. And we begin to use that as a lens for our decision-making journey throughout the customer journey. And so it becomes a definitive guiding light to ensure your team is on the right path. It ensures you to be able to say, all right, if our goal is to give fun to every single person, then as you're talking with your staff, as you're talking with your team, you can have these conversations. Are we having fun or are we not? Are we giving fun or are we not? Are we making people successful or are we not? Do they feel like family or do they not? In every single moment throughout the customer journey is how you're able to do that and how you're able to use the PFT as that guiding light. Guys, that's kind of in a nutshell what the PFT is, why it's important, how you can use it, and again, how we use it every single day in our business. This is something that we talk about every single day. Are we giving fun? Are we not? Are we creating a circus-like atmosphere, or are we not? And if we're not, then that's okay. We have the ability to change, right? You have the ability to look yourself in the mirror and say, that's our guiding light. That's where we want to go as we go through the journey of first impressions and buying experience and coming to our office and doing business with us and delivering things. That's how we use the PFT. And it's a very simple decision-making process. I want to share one last story before we get into the Q&A, before we get into questions and chat. Again, in the next couple of minutes, go ahead and put your chat questions in the chat window. I've got some that are coming along here. So put your chat questions in the chat window, and we will answer those here at the end. I want to share this last story, and it's about Lizzie, who's our merchandise director. And so she had this mindset of fun entertainment. And as we were putting together our merchandise kind of fan journey, she started asking herself, are we fun? Is our merchandise process fun? And so, traditionally it's get a t-shirt, get the order, the little confirmation email goes out, we put it in a box and ship it out, right? Put it in a USPS box and ship it out. She started asking every single step of the way, is this fun? And so now, when we get an order, she went through the entire process and said, okay, when they order, I need to give them a call and tell them how pumped we are that they are ordering merchandise from us and we're shipping it out to them, we're packaging it up, it's going out to them today. We need our confirmation email to say, you made the best decision of your day, your merchandise is coming to you. What if she asked the question, what if we got yellow boxes? What if we got yellow boxes and put our merchandise in them? She said, could we put a stamp that says delivered fresh on the box? Could we get yellow tissue paper? And could we get koozies? And could we get stickers? And could I put my business card in there? What could we do to make the whole process fun? And so everyone always asks us, well, how does that pay off? How does that pay off? And what we started finding and what we started seeing was when people would get these packages, they started doing these unboxings. They started taking pictures and putting them on Twitter, putting them on Facebook. Just got my merchandise package. This is so amazing. Love the boxing, love the packaging. Thank you so much, Lizzie. They had no idea who Lizzie was, but she asked the question, is the entire customer journey for our process of merchandise fun? Our PFT is, we want people to say, that is the most fun I've ever had at a baseball game. But even in our merchandise experience, when people aren't coming to the game, Lizzie had the mindset of, can I make this fun? So I love that story. I love what Lizzie does with the merchandise because it's so important to show that this mindset, this PFT, can be a guiding light. It's not hyperbole. It's not blowing smoke. These are things that we use every single day. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this the PowerPoint slide here, and I'm going to go a little bit more raw on the computer, and then we're going to have some general chats and general Q&A. I think we're seeing some questions come in already, so I'm going to go ahead and log off the PowerPoint here, and I'm going to bring up the chat window, and we are going to start talking with y'all, the people. So, wow, this is amazing. Good questions. Let me get to the top here, or we might just start from the bottom. So Jamie says, do you have a document with leading questions that will help us create our PFT, something to walk us step by step through the process? Here's what I will do, since this was kind of our plan beyond the webinar. Basically, the people who came and witnessed this live, so the people that are watching this live, you're going to get a follow-up email. It's going to include a few different things. It's going to include the recording to this webinar. It's going to be a big file. We'll probably put it on YouTube or something like that. And we're going to include some supporting documents with that. So about the PFT, some questions you can start asking, along the way. So you'll get that along the way with the PFT there and the follow-up video. So yeah, that'll be part of what we'll send to everyone here coming out. All right. Laura Skolman asked, do you have any advice for energizing a large team to get behind company ambitions for the PFT? All right, so again, everyone's a leader here in this business. So you guys are responsible for teams, you're responsible for organizations, and that's incredible, right? And so the question always comes up, all right, how do I get my entire team on this? And so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get your team together, and so we have these, they're called Idea Paloozas. And so an Idea Palooza is when we bring our team together and we have a specific goal and a specific mission. And so like it might be for y'all, all right, we're going to have an Idea Palooza around the PFT. Because the last thing a group of employees are going to want to hear is that you guys went on this crazy webinar, heard this ridiculous guy start talking, came up with these insane ideas, and you're going to implement them for everyone, right? Because people get scared of those things. People get scared of change. And so what I challenge you to do is host a small Idea Palooza with some of your staff, with some of your team members. Get some people around together and say, all right, guys, what are some emotions that we want people to feel when they come and experience our industry? So if you're a restaurant, or if you're an event planner, if you're HVAC or you're plumbing, your employees are going to know what they want people to feel. And it might be simple, as simple as, hey guys, when people come to our restaurant, we want people to feel like home, or we want people to feel like family, or whatever that is. Like you start asking them, what do we want people to feel? I think to answer Jamie's question and Laura's question as well is, how do you want people to feel? And so you start asking your team that, hey guys, when people come and do business with us, how do we want people to feel? How do we want people to feel? And so you start with some of those words, and it might be love or family or empowered or successful or whatever that might be, and you start using those words, and then you start crafting them into their sentences. So you say, when they come to our business, when I go and do business with them, I feel like this, or they do this for me, or they make me feel this way. And you start using those words, and you start using those in sentences, and then that starts empowering people. And so you start saying, all right, if that's our goal, and we all agree that this is our goal together, then we've got to make sure that every experience along the way matches that. So again, if it's fun, when someone walks into your store or walks into your restaurant or walks into your office, and let's say the word is fun, let's say, again going back to the bananas, if someone walks in our office and we're not giving them fun, then we've got to have a team, we got to have a collaborative session there and say, guys, all right, our office is not fun. When people walk in, we're not giving them fun, and we've all agreed that that's our goal, to give people fun. We're not meeting that expectation. What are some ideas we can use to change that? So that's how I would to put that together. All right, so another question we have here. Let's see, how do you gauge how much and when to sell your fin? All right, I'm starting a new JUCO baseball program in Shelby, North Carolina. School has done great job. The mascot name Yetis. How would you expand on fan experience to a brand new athletic department in Shelby, North Carolina? All right, so this is an amazing opportunity for starting a brand new program. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity because you get to set the direction for how you want your fans, your students, your community to feel. So when they think of going to this new baseball program, going to this new athletic department, Cleveland Community College, when they think of Cleveland Community College, what do they feel? What do they feel when they go to the games? How, are they proud? Do they feel like it's a community? What is it? And again, I can't describe that for you. That's something that you have to describe, for yourself. You've got to get your team together, your people together, your athletic department together, and say, when our fans think of Cleveland Community College, when our community thinks of Cleveland Community College, what do they think of? What is the experience that they think of? And then you can set out and say, all right, our basketball program has to be like this, our football program, our baseball, our student activity, like every single touch point has to be a part of that. All right, Dave May says, what is the first step to take when your baseball team has been around for 8 years, things are very boring and slow, and it gets your fans to gets your fans to believe in the fans' first experience. this is the question of irrelevancy, right? So people ask, I've been doing the same thing for 5 or 6 years now, or 8 years, or 10 years now. How do we get out of it? It comes down to one idea. We've got to start challenging ourselves to come up with one new and different idea that changes the fan experience, right? And so, for example, here's the real answer. It might not work. It might not work. You might create an idea and it fails. That's okay. If you come up with 10 creative ideas, 10 out-of-the-box ideas, and 9 of them fail, and 1 of them works, congratulations, 1 of them worked. We've come up with so many ideas here, so many promotions, so many events. We tried to do a morning beer festival, which was the dumbest idea on earth. We thought that people could drink in the, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. That was our tagline. We thought a morning beer festival would be so successful, and it flatlined. It absolutely didn't work. But you know how many people come up to us and say, oh man, you idiots, you guys, you did that morning beer festival, you guys are failures. Nobody says that. Nobody says that because people don't remember it. People don't care. That's okay. We're moving on to the next one. So you've got to be willing to come up with one idea. And it's got to be totally different. It can't be, especially in baseball, you can't take an idea from another baseball team and implement it. Take ideas from the circus, take ideas from the cruise industry, take ideas from anywhere and put them into play and say, what if this would work? What if this actually worked? Try one idea, and I think it would really set you guys apart. Let's see. People say it's the dumbest name. Let's see. Other questions are coming into the bottom here. Let me scroll on down. I'm not seeing them actually. All right. How do you tailor your Kortner partnerships to enhance the customer experience at the ballpark? This is a great question. I will say as much as I can without letting the cat out of the bag, Jake, but here's the interesting thing. We actually don't believe that Kortner corporate partnerships enhance the customer experience. And I'm not going to pick on you here, but to even ask the question, how do you tailor corporate partnerships to enhance the customer experience for fans of the ballpark? If you actually even have to ask the question, it sounds like you're probably thinking that corporate partnerships don't enhance the customer experience at the ballpark, right? I think that's an interesting question to ask, because if you have to ask the question, then you're already probably going down that path of realizing, oh my goodness, corporate partnerships don't enhance the fan experience at the ballpark. We're actually going through a process right now of questioning that ourselves, because we believe that fans don't come to the game to be advertised to. If our mission is to add fun and add a circus-like atmosphere to the ballpark, then corporate partnerships are probably not adding to that. They're probably not adding to fun and circus-like experiences at the ballpark. Only we as the brand can do that. And so, Jake, I'm going to leave it at that. Because we believe we're at a crossroads. We believe we're at a crossroads in the industry where traditional sponsorship actually isn't, it's not the driver, right? People don't come to the games and say, man, I love that wall full of ads. Nobody comes to the game to say that. They come, your Perfect Fan Testimonial is fun. The Perfect Fan Testimonial is not, man, I went to the game and I saw so many ads there, right? Like that's the realest way I can respond to this, because we believe that customers don't come to our games to be advertised to. That's not our PFT. Our PFT is not about letting people see ads. And so we're actually really at a crossroads of that. So stay tuned in the next couple months, and you might see some crazy announcements coming out about that. Kevin asked, in your Idea Palooza meetings, how do you get everyone to participate? Is it best to have a boss, not attend? That's a really, really awesome question, Kevin. And so, no, it's not technically mandatory. What we do, though, before the Idea Palooza, we share with our staff, hey guys, we're actually having one tomorrow. We're having an Idea Palooza tomorrow, and so we might put it online or something. But anyways, we're having an Idea Palooza tomorrow, and the theme is the most ridiculous night in sports. And so we've been talking about this Idea Palooza for about 3 or 4 weeks now. Hey guys, we're having an Idea Palooza on the 18th. Hey, we're having an Idea Palooza on the 18th. Hey, we're having an Idea Palooza on the 18th. And so we have a box in our office where people can simply write down their ideas that they want to bring to the Idea Palooza. And so there is a leader. There's a leader of the Idea Palooza. This week it's going to be Barry. He's our vice president. He's going to be leading the Idea Palooza. And he's going to be drawing out all the ideas. And so when the idea is drawn out, that person who put the idea in has to raise their hand and say, yep, that's my idea. Here's what I think. The way to get everyone to participate is to challenge them and say, guys, there's no bad ideas here. There's no bad ideas. Only ideas that haven't been fully fleshed out yet. And so the challenge for everyone is we've got to figure out a way to support this idea. How can we make this idea, so we're trying to push the idea for, okay, we could do it this way. We could add this element. This person could do this. This person could be responsible for this. And so we're pushing the Idea Palooza forward until we get to a point where we say, all right, we're stuck. We've hit a roadblock. We don't want to spend too much time on this. We've hit a roadblock. We can't go any further. All right, person X who came up with the idea, you need to take all these ideas together, rework them, and then update us along the way. What you'll realize is some ideas will get to 100%, and you'll say, yep, this is a killer idea. This totally makes sense. You who came up with the idea, you own it now. You own the idea. Bring it back to our team once every couple of weeks. Update us on it and let us know how this idea gets put into play. I would definitely have a boss there, but I think, again, by you asking that question, I'm sensing that there's probably some dynamics that y'all are going to have to work on as a team. And you've got to remind everyone, it's not you. It's not your bad idea. It's just the idea doesn't work. So you've got to take feelings and personality out of it and remind people you are safe here. Your job matters. Your opinion matters. You are valued here. Your work matters. And this idea is important to us. If it doesn't work, no hard feelings. A couple more questions here. Laura again asked, what is a question you recommend asking when interviewing a new potential leader? Identifying someone who will take ownership, hold similar core values. I would bring on Marie for this one if she wants to come on and answer this. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch roles, and I'm going to bring Marie on to answer this because she is leading our employee experience, really our employee experience mapping. And I'll give it over to her for a second, and then I'll come back and finish off. Good luck.
Sorry, thanks. Hey, good question. I think that probably the best way to approach that is to not ask specific questions about what actually matters to them, because anybody can give you the right answer. Anybody can give you the canned responses of, oh, I love world peace and that kind of thing, but which we all do. But I think that the best way to approach it is to find questions that will identify what really does matter to that individual as an individual, without specifically coming out right and saying that. So finding out, who are the three people that they spend their most time with, and listen to how they describe those people. Then turn around and ask the question and say, hey, how would that person describe you? What would they say about you? What would they say about how you approach different things? And again, interviews are such a tricky thing because people can put on this persona and then that's not what you see down the line. But asking questions that maybe aren't as direct, but that give you a little bit of insight as to what they're really thinking, what they're really feeling, and how that has manifested in their personal life, because stuff that they hold in high value as in their personal life is what's going to overflow into your work setting. So,
boom. So Marie was wearing her Christmas sweater, which is amazing. So I totally put her on the spot about that. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge thing that we're focusing on every single day is hiring those people and hiring those leaders. Last thing that I want to share with y'all today is our upcoming event. So our upcoming event, Fans First Experience Workshop, is June 1st through the 3rd in Savannah. Those seats are open now. We are taking registrations for those June 1st through the 3rd in Savannah. Again, we did 2 of these last year. We did 2 of them last summer and had a ton of people excited. 15 people per session. We're really pumped. So we're having the Fans First Experience Workshop June 1st through the 3rd here in Savannah at Grayson Stadium. You get to hang out with us, go behind the scenes with us. We walk through the entire Fans First experience as we go through the customer journey mapping. And again, that's fansfirstu.com/workshop. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of this webinar. Again, here's what we owe to you. We owe an email back to you, and I can't promise you the date on that, but we owe an email back to you with this recorded video. You'll be the first ones to get it, and we owe you some documents supporting this PFT, and so be on the lookout before the end of this week to get that from us. We owe that to y'all. Hey, if you have questions, if you have other things you want to share with us, I'm going to put my email here in the chat box. It's Jared, Jared, at thesavannahbananas.com. Please email me. Please email me. We want to be accessible. We are not trying to hide behind the computer. We're not trying to hide behind webinars. We want to be accessible. Webinars and things like this are the easiest way that we can do to share, connect with people and share with people. So please, email me, call us, text us, whatever it might be. We're so thankful for y'all being a part of this today. All right, have a great day, everybody. Keep rocking. We will talk to you soon.